You guys want to put him?
Let's get him on the opposite side of this truck.
Let's go over here, sir.
Cody?
Let's go on the
I can't
opposite
tell.
side.
Sir, let's walk over here.
Why is that? That's messed up.
Let's walk over here. Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get him on the opposite side of this truck.
And the court left the door open.
For me, not for you.
Evil cops often believe their badge grants them immunity from justice. But when their crime catches up to them, the courtroom becomes their ultimate reckoning. Today we'll be going through cases where corrupt cops face their darkest hours. In 2017, a series of troubling events unfolded about Sheriff James Lujan's assistance to a friend and former city councilor, Phil Chacon, in his attempt to escape law enforcement during a police pursuit. The officers arrived at the facility to take Sheriff Lujan into custody.
Stack up on the front. Towards the phone. Hold it.
Morning, sir. Executing search warrant. Sheriff Lujan.
Search warrant for him or
For the building as well.
for what?
I have no idea. It's house. But no, just stay here. No, I can't have you enter the scene.
You guys are fucked up, man.
Why are they beating on things?
You guys want to put him?
Let's get him on the opposite side of this truck.
Let's go over here, sir.
Cody?
Let's go on the
I can't
opposite
tell.
side.
Sir, let's walk over here.
Why is that? That's messed up.
Let's walk over here. Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get him on the opposite side of this truck.
Well, you got Tabitha over there.
Not yet.
I got the press out here taking pictures of me in handcuffs.
The sheriff was shocked by the circumstances and felt he had too much right to be the target of a search like this. To get him to cooperate with the search, deputies had to use their authority.
Push him around into the doorway. Yeah, push him around into the doorway. At least to the doorway.
Just right here. Don't go
Aye! This is ridiculous.
Keep him up there.
Hold on, we have press.
Keep him up there.
Come over here, sir.
Keep him up there.
Sheriff,
Go.
Stop.
Stay out here.
Ah, Jesus! Really?
You don't have to.
Look
just
to you,
stand.
look behind
just
you.
stand. Just stand.
Stand up, bro. Stand up.
Put him on the side of the truck. Put him on the outside of the truck.
It hurts.
They're loose, sir. They're loose.
No, they're not loose.
They're not even.
Sheriff, those are loose.
So I'm going to read a stipulation.
Can you take these handcuffs off? They hurt. They hurt. Am I under arrest?
You're being detained.
Well, yeah. Why do I have to have cuffs on? They hurt.
The sheriff was advised by the deputies that he was the subject of an active search warrant. When the sheriff realized how serious the issue was, he refused to cooperate and insisted on speaking with his lawyer before taking any more action.
25, 21 units, make sure you guys stay running hot.
So on this is signed by a district court judge. Okay? Judge Bowman. Okay. First judicial. Okay. So this search warrant gives me the authorization to seize your phone. Okay. Search your phone.
Okay.
But it also gives me the authorization. So what I'm asking for you to do is unlock your phone, unlock it, give it back to me, and I'm going to remove the security settings. I don't want your passcode. I'm not asking for your passcode. I'm asking you to unlock the phone. Per the search warrant, you can read it if you want under number 2.
I will if I get a chance to talk to my attorney.
It doesn't work like that.
Marty,
this is not a negotiation.
get off.
This is not a negotiation, Sheriff. This is not a negotiation.
Given how many warrants he probably handled in his career, it is astonishing that a sheriff would not know how a warrant works. He refused to comply with the deputy's request, which resulted in his arrest.
You can talk to your attorney when this is
I've
all
been
done.
asking.
When this is all done, you can call your attorney. But right now, we're trying to get you to comply with the warrant. The warrant stipulates exactly what we want. You give us that, we'll get the phone, we're out of here. That's it. What do you want to do, Sheriff?
Right now, I'm under arrest.
You're
Because
detained.
I am under arrest. I am in handcuffs. I'm not free to leave. I'm not free to leave? Am I free to leave?
No.
Then, if I'm under arrest, I have a right to an attorney, correct?
You do.
Okay.
And I'm not questioning you.
I'm invoking my
telling-
right to
I'm
an attorney
telling-
right now.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
So take him in.
Book me for what?
Booking for obstruction. Obstruction.
Book it. I'm not obstructing.
Take him over here to our unit. Take him over here to our unit.
Over here, Sheriff. Over here. Just
They're gonna book me.
really
Look at this shit. Look.
stop. Just walk up. Just walk up.
What are you doing?
The sheriff faced public humiliation right outside of his own office. Instead of giving up his phone to the officers, he chose to be handcuffed.
I'm telling you what the warrant stipulates.
I understand that. And
I told you what the warrant stipulates. You had every opportunity to cooperate. You want to cooperate, you're going to jail. Have a seat, sir.
Alright, good. Why's already
You've been
Take the whole
searched,
thing
really?
off. No, I haven't been searched. Just take
step
me
out
so we
here.
can do it.
I just want to make sure you don't have any knives.
I don't have any knives. I don't have any weapons. That's my wallet.
Get your wallet. What's his keys?
My keys to my truck. I don't have any weapons. Okay? I really don't. You took my weapon. As a matter of fact, you left it on the back of my truck over there. Did you get somebody to secure it,
We'll
please?
secure everything for you. Have a seat.
Can you move these to the front?
No, sir. Against department policy. Have a seat.
Well, it's tighter than hell. They hurt.
Sheriff, those are very, very loose.
Really?
Step
Nah.
out. Let me see if I can fix them. They're very, very loose.
His arrest was not taken lightly by the sheriff's colleagues, who started threatening the Santa Fe deputies. Tensions between the two departments were only heightened by the fact that they were arresting their own sheriff while on Rio Arriba territory.
That's his mag, and then we're gonna get you his sidearm.
Get everything. I don't want part of it.
What do you mean everything?
Everything.
So this is what we took off this person? You're the one that took it off this person?
Took it off this person.
Deputy Graves.
Well, inventory it before you get it.
We're handing it right over to you.
Inventory. You get away from me. What you guys are doing?
We're trying to do everything peacefully. We tried to. Okay? That's all we're doing. We're done here. We're leaving.
Okay, well, get out of here then. You're done. Get out.
We'll leave when we're ready.
You said you were done.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up right now. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. We're doing our law enforcement duties. That's it. District court signed it. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so as soon as we're done, we're going to get out of your hair. Why are you calling everybody here to put them
This is our
involved?
house.
Well, right now it's ours. Right now it's ours.
We own the building right now.
Shut up.
Don't talk to me
Go
like
over
that.
there.
Shut up.
I don't work for you. Don't
Okay.
talk to me like
Shut
that.
up.
Easy,
Go over
easy.
there. Get that and let's go. Are we done in there? Are we done in there? Okay.
The sheriff was taken straight to the police station for further questioning by the deputies, who refused to back down despite the mounting pressure.
I have no idea, sir.
You find nothing?
You go ask her. Well, this is your house. You go ask her.
Oh, no. I know.
Yeah, it is now. Because we just gave it back to you.
Ah, these things hurt. God.
The sheriff was ultimately accused of 2 felonies, helping a victim and intimidating a victim. When the case went to trial, the judge gave a harsh verdict, holding the corrupt sheriff completely responsible for his deeds.
The people of Rio Arriba County elected you to be sheriff. They put their trust in you to uphold the law, and you let them down.
Yes, Your Honor, I try to do the best that I can to help everybody I can, and I in no way would want to.
The law is the law. You are not above the law, nor can you ignore the law when it serves your purpose. The sentences will be served consecutively for a total of 4.5 years, of which 3 years of imprisonment and 1.5 years supervised probation. You let down the people of Rio Arriba County, and you let down the Sheriff's Department, the department that you led. What kind of example were you giving the people that you supervise?
He resigned as sheriff one day after being found guilty and was sentenced to a 3-year jail sentence. This next officer did not care about his actions, even in the presence of an 8-year-old.
It's the jury having found you guilty of the offense of manslaughter and assessed this punishment.
Dean was initially charged with the murder of Jefferson. However, the judge told the jury that they might also consider a manslaughter conviction prior to the panel's deliberation. A manslaughter conviction in Texas can result in a maximum sentence of 20 years in jail.
Verdict reads, we the jury, having found the defendant Aaron York Dean guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offense of manslaughter, assess his punishment at confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 11 years, 10 months, 12 days. They do not assess a fine. And it is signed by the presiding juror. You may be seated. Thank you very much. Members of the jury, as we went through before, I'm going to call your juror number and ask you if this verdict is your individual verdict. Juror number 1, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 3, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 4, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 6, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 9, is this your verdict? Juror number 14, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 15, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 21, is this your verdict? Juror number 31, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 32, is this your verdict? Juror number 37, is this your verdict? Juror number 38, is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your verdict will be received and filed. Thank you very much.
The main question at trial was whether Dean knew Jefferson was carrying a weapon. In his testimony, Dean claimed to have seen her weapon, but the prosecution said that the evidence did not support this claim.
It's the jury having found you guilty of the offense of manslaughter and assessed this punishment. It's the order of the court you be remanded to the custody of the sheriff, be delivered to the director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve your sentence as required by law. You will receive credit for all the time that you have served in custody on this case from the date of your original arrest up until today, which would be the date of sentence. You have the right to appeal the jury's decision. You do so by giving written notice of appeal to the Second Court of Appeals here in Fort Worth within 30 days. If you are indigent and cannot afford a lawyer, I would conduct an indigency hearing to determine if you are indigent. And if you are indigent, I would appoint a lawyer to represent you on appeal and provide you a record of this appeal of this trial at no cost. Mr. Gill, Mr. Brissett, Gill will remain on his case pending his decision whether he wishes to appeal, and if you'll furnish the information for the trial court certification of appeal before you leave here today, I would appreciate it. Is there an allocution? You may be seated. Thank you very much.
The cop received a sentence of over 12 years in jail after being found guilty of manslaughter. Later on, a $3.5 million settlement was also approved for the boy who saw his aunt getting shot to death through her home's window. The saga of evil cops just doesn't end here. This next officer didn't hesitate to shoot a schizophrenic patient. On January 15th, 2020, employees at an AT&T shop on Main Avenue reported a client yelling at workers and brandishing a knife, prompting Norwalk police to come to the scene. When he was asked to leave, the man tried to take a cell phone, but the clerk was able to get it back from him. Soleiman, the suspect, reportedly called for a ride-sharing service, argued with the driver, and then slapped him. When the driver got out of the vehicle, Soleiman stole the car, and that's when the police initiated the pursuit.
Making a left off 43.
Suleiman was chased by state police on I-95 North from Norwalk into West Haven, where he collided with multiple cars and police cruisers. When he pulled onto the exit 43 ramp and stopped under the Campbell Avenue Bridge, the chase came to an end.
It's out of his hands, it's on his lap. I got the knife. It's on the hood. Pull him out. Go to taser! Taser!
While the police officer yelled orders, a trooper smashed the car's window and retrieved the knife. From another angle, it becomes clear what the trooper did next, an action that will leave you in complete shock.
Got a knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! I got the knife! It's on the hood! Pull him out!
According to Trooper Brian North, he fired to defend other police officers. However, the state's inspector general concluded that the gunshot wound was not justified. Brian's trial started on March 4th, and here is what happened in the trial. When North testified on March 8th, 2024, he said in his testimony that he shot Suleiman because he thought that the lives of fellow officers were at risk. What is interesting is the fact that this cop thought that a group of armed police officers could be harmed by a 19-year-old with a knife.
Now, sir, you were asked a series of questions about you firing your weapon in this towards Mr. Suleiman. Please describe again why you fired your weapon that day.
It was to protect the West Haven officer and Trooper Jackson from the threat of imminent death or serious physical injury.
And you were just shown a series of still photographs that included Trooper Jackson's body-worn camera. You recall seeing those?
Yes.
And again, your decision to use force the way you did was based on what?
It was based on what I was perceiving at the time.
During the trial, the lawyers kept delving deeper into the circumstances surrounding Suleiman's death, relying on video footage and police department testimony for further examination.
Who was in charge?
There was no one person in charge.
And who made the decision to break the passenger side window?
It was a West Haven officer, Officer Rappa.
Did that decision change the overall situation?
Yes, once the glass of the window was broken, Mr. Suleiman, it startled him, and he rapidly escalated it.
Prior to the breaking of that window, what was Mr. Suleiman's state?
He appeared to be unconscious and unresponsive.
We watched a video of you interacting with Trooper Richter and Sergeant Kiley. Do you recall that?
Yes.
The prosecution argued that North's early remarks after the shooting were contradictory, as the officer ordered Suleiman to drop the knife completely, ignoring the fact that he shot Suleiman 7 times.
So we're not trained to reassess after each shot. We're trained to reassess after each use of force, which would be an engagement. So that brief series of shots you would then reassess after that.
And Attorney Devlin had asked you, if I'm quoting correctly, did you fire as many times as you wanted to? My question is, how many times did you want to?
There was no number. It was just whatever I thought was necessary to stop the threat at hand.
And then you use the term reassess. At what point would then you have the ability to reassess?
Immediately following shots being fired.
You were asked questions about the fact that you shot through glass, correct?
Correct.
What impact does firing a weapon when shot through glass have on the shot?
Objection, no foundation.
The cop clearly replied that he isn't trained to assess the situation after shooting. He also explained that his response was influenced by the information given to them that Solomon was armed and involved in a carjacking.
That if that West Haven officer was not going through that window, but was standing outside as is shown in the video, it would not be objectively reasonable to shoot that gun at Solomon, right?
Objection, Your Honor, that's speculation.
He's asking, he had him read the state police criteria there, and I'm asking him if no one's going into that car, it's objectively unreasonable to shoot the driver.
Can we just do it one step at a time?
Sure.
When the officer asked him if using the gun was an objectively reasonable response given the situation, the officer remained silent. He was unable to defend the use of deadly force above de-escalation.
Is he guilty or not guilty of the lesser included offense of criminally negligent homicide in violation of Connecticut General Statutes 53A, 55, with which he stands charged?
Not guilty.
Does the court accept this verdict?
Yes.
The jury may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please listen to your verdict as it is accepted in order recorded by the court. You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, each of you do say unanimously that the defendant is not guilty of the crime of manslaughter in the first degree with the firearm in violation of Section 53A, 55, paren A, paren 3, and Section 53, 55A of the Connecticut General Statutes as outlined. You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, each of you do say unanimously that the defendant is not guilty of the crime of the lesser included offense of manslaughter in the second degree with the firearm in violation of Connecticut General Statutes 53A, 56, paren A, paren 1, and Section 53A, 56A of the Connecticut General Statutes as outlined. You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, each of you do say unanimously that the defendant is not guilty of the lesser included offense of criminally negligent homicide in violation of Section 53A, 55 of the Connecticut General Statutes as outlined.
The Milford jury found Trooper Brian North not guilty on all counts by a Milford jury, in spite of a strong popular disapproval and conviction that he was guilty. Following 2 weeks of testimony and several days of discussion, the jury gave a verdict that ended the trial. Now, while this cop was let go easily, this next judge did something completely unexpected in the courtroom.
Before they
Don't get brazen with me.
During a night of chaos in Kenosha, sparked by the police killing of 29-year-old black man Jacob Blake, who was left paralyzed after an altercation with a cop, Rittenhouse armed himself with an AR-15 style gun. As things got quickly out of hand, Rittenhouse opened fire, killing 36-year-old Joseph Rosenbaum and 26-year-old Anthony Hubert, in addition to wounding 26-year-old Gage Grosskreutz.
You indicated that at no time did this gun, this AR-15, ever leave the state of Wisconsin. Is that right?
Other than the night after, other than that.
Before the shootings?
Correct.
There was a time, though, where you wanted to have it with you down in Illinois, isn't it? It wasn't there?
I believe there was a time when me and Dominic were mad at each other. Yeah.
You were mad at Dominic?
Me and Dominic were mad over something.
And you wanted to have the gun with you down there?
I think I said something along those lines.
You'd agree with me that... Let me back up for a second here. You have testified to this jury that you used deadly force against Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, the man who attempted to kick you in the face, and Gage Grosskreutz on the night of August 25th, correct?
Yes.
And you did that because you felt that your life was in danger from those 4 people, correct?
Yes.
And you are telling this jury that it was, in your mind, justified to use deadly force to protect your own life, correct?
Yes.
Many of the most contentious topics of the country are addressed in this case, such as vigilantism, self-defense, the Second Amendment, violence during racial justice protests, and the different perceptions of how the legal system and law enforcement handle white people and people of color.
You'd agree with me that you were not allowed to use deadly force to protect that CarSource building, correct?
Well, I wasn't using deadly force to protect the property. I used deadly force to protect myself, so.
Please listen to my question and answer my question if you can. You'd agree with me that you were not allowed to use deadly force to protect that CarSource building, correct?
Yes.
You'd agree with me that you were not allowed to use deadly force to stop someone from smashing the windows of an unoccupied parked car, correct?
I don't think you could use deadly force for that.
You'd agree with me that you can't use deadly force to stop someone from lighting a metal dumpster on fire, correct?
Correct.
You'd agree with me that you can't use deadly force to stop someone from tipping over.
Correct.
You'd agree you can't use deadly force to stop someone from lighting a flatbed trailer on fire, correct?
Correct.
You'd agree with me that you can't use deadly force to stop someone who is about to start an unoccupied car on fire, correct?
Prosecutor Thomas Binger was accused by lead defense lawyer Mark Richards of disobeying earlier decisions and trying to provoke a mistrial. However, tensions in the courtroom increased as Binger replied and prompted an unexpected response from the judge.
Mr. Richards? Your Honor, Mr. Binger is either forgetting the court's rulings or attempting to provoke a mistrial in this matter. He knows he can't go into this, and he's asking the questions. I asked the court to strongly admonish him, and the next time it happens, I'll be asking for a mistrial with prejudice. He's an experienced.
First of all, Your Honor, this was the subject of a motion. I'm well aware of that, and the court left the door open.
For me, not for you.
My understanding of
you should have come and asked for reconsideration. You did on the one motion, and in fact, I granted your motion for reconsideration.
That was not our motion.
Excuse me. I did. I granted.
We did not move to reconsider.
That was their motion.
We have not filed any motions to reconsider in this case.
That was their motion for reconsideration, which I denied. But I said I denied it, or I indicated a bias towards denial is what I did.
When prosecutor Thomas Binger implied the court had allowed for specific lines of interrogation, including those he pursued with the defender, the judge dismissed the jury and became enraged.
Why would you think that that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, well, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to.
May I respond?
Yes.
We filed an other acts motion on this exact issue because, in my mind, and I argued this, it is identical to what was going on the night of August 25th, in the sense that the defendant was using this exact same weapon. He was using it in a manner to try and protect property.
No, he wasn't.
Your Honor, with all due respect...
I'm not going to rehash the motion. That's absolutely untrue. No. Your argument's of record. My comments are of record, and why I ruled as I did is of record. There's nothing that I heard in this trial to suggest anything's changed, even if you're correct in your assumption that you know more than I did at the time.
What came next was extensive verbal attacks aimed directly at the prosecutor. According to the report, the prosecutor's strategies in the past have contributed to worsening these serious issues in high-profile cases.
May I finish, please? I'd like to have a chance to make a record if I could, without being interrupted, if that's okay. He has mentioned that he's acknowledged that he's used this gun to protect property. He's also just acknowledged that he knows he can't do that. I am attempting to impeach him now with the prior August 10th incident, 15 days prior, involving the same gun, where he is threatening to use that gun to protect property. It goes...
He has the gun with him.
Your Honor, he is saying he wished he did so he could shoot people.
You know, there's a lot of difference between commenting about something when you haven't got a gun and threatening someone when you do.
You know, it's interesting, Your Honor, because the entire defense theory in this case is Joseph Rosenbaum, who was unarmed.
I want you to tell me what the defense theory of the case is. I want...
May I respond to what you just said, Your Honor? I'd like to respond to what you just said. I apologize, Madam Court Reporter, but I'd like to try and make a record without anyone interrupting me, if that's okay.
Binger, however, kept his cool and claimed that he had filed an other acts petition to provide evidence indicating that Rittenhouse said that he wanted to use his weapon to protect property rather than people.
I've admitted that kind of evidence in other trials when it's been appropriate. I didn't admit it in this case because, to me, what I've heard in this trial, and by the way, Mr. Richards absolutely correctly points out that just hours ago, I said I had heard nothing in this trial to change any of my rulings. So why?
Testimony, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
That was before the defense testimony.
Don't get brazen with me. You knew very well. You know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled without asking outside the presence of the jury to do so. So don't give me that. That's number one. Number two, this is propensity evidence. I said at the time that I made my ruling, and I'll repeat again now for you, I see no similarity between talking about wishing you had your AR gun, which you don't have, so that you could fire rounds at these thought to be shoplifters, and the incidents in these cases, which are not, there's nothing in your case that suggests the defendant was lying in wait to shoot at somebody.
Judge Schroeder lost his cool with the prosecutor, but in doing so, he mischaracterized the case and was not corrected. The prosecution said that Rittenhouse was the one who started the altercation and provoked the people he shot.
When you were I said you were over the line, close to or over the line on commenting on the defendant's pretrial silence, which is a well-known rule. I'm astonished that would have been an issue. So I don't want to have another issue as long as this case continues. Is that clear?
It is.
Thank you. Ask the jury to come back in, please.
However, Rittenhouse faced numerous charges that included first-degree reckless homicide, use of a dangerous weapon, first-degree endangering safety, first-degree intentional homicide, possession of a dangerous weapon, and first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. Today we saw the shocking reactions of evil cops facing life sentences in the courtroom. These individuals, sworn to protect and serve, instead chose a path of corruption and violence, and now they're facing the consequences of their actions. Justice is finally being served, and it's a reminder that no one is above the law. And if you agree, please consider showing your support by liking this video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more cases like these. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video right here.